At the 6th of April 2022, I remember it was at around 4 or 5 p.m. I was sitting here and scrolling on TikTok. I did it for an hour or two, and then I stumbled upon this video. It was something in the context of day one or one day, and then I kept scrolling. Another video popped, and it was something in the context of daily grind day 322. Fucking take cold showers, train in the gym, don't skip your workouts. And back in those days, I was fat. I didn't train at all. I didn't realize why these videos popped up in my feed. But to be honest, they gave me some motivation, so I decided to get out of this bed, right? So for the 2 or 3 weeks before that point, I started to develop some level of dissatisfaction with my body. Now, I didn't like my body for the few months and years before that point, but a few weeks before that point, I started to actually realize it. And then I took my before photo and I decided to change my body. Now, even though I wanted to get on track, for the first days after that point, I got on track. I started to train. I ate less food, a lot less food. I starved myself basically. But after a week, I burned myself out. Now, I still stuck to this journey because at day one I decided to commit to it no matter what, but I realized that if I will keep going with this pace I will just fail. And with it I started to educate myself at day one about fitness, about training, about diet, and I've heard all of these guys say that you should not do too much at the beginning. Then I went to the dietitian, I got some advice from her, I started to watch more videos on YouTube, started to educate myself more. I realized how weight loss occurs. I've lost between 1 to 2 pounds each and every week from then on. After 30 days, I didn't make like a lot of progress, but I made a pretty good amount of it. After 90 days, right, so in one of my videos I said that I lost around 45 to 30 pounds. So I lost around, right, not 45, that was an exaggeration, but around 30 pounds after 90 days. And then you can see on this screen right now the progress that I made. I made a pretty impressive amount of progress. I completely transformed my body. I started as a fat, pretty ugly dude, and I became skinny fat and pretty decent looking dude. At 90 days, I got back on track. That's the proof to it. After 365 days, I completely transformed my body and so on. So if you want to get back on track ASAP, I need you to first realize these two concepts. So the first concept is the law of adaptability. We as humans, we are adaptable in terms of states of mind. I want you to think about when you were scrolling on TikTok for the first time. Did you get like a massive dopamine rush? Probably, yes, it was fun. You kept scrolling and watching these videos. It was pretty damn fun. Now I want you to think about the less time that you were scrolling on TikTok. It was not like extremely fun, not as fun as the beginning. You got used to it, you adapted to that level of dopamine release. Your dopamine baseline went up and you got used to it, you adapted, okay? And that's the first concept. We as humans, we get adapted to states of minds pretty damn fast. We can adapt into the state of pain, we can adapt into the state of working out, into fitness, we can change our beliefs, we can change our values, and adapt to them and get used to having them pretty damn fast. And then the second concept is about positive feedback loops. I want you to think about one endeavor that you really excel at. It can be your education, fucking you excelling at math, you excelling at fitness in one aspect of it, or anything, right? Something that you're really good at. And now I want you to think about the first few times that you were doing it. So this thing, you were probably getting some level of positive feedback when you were doing it at the beginning. It's either you feeling good about yourself for doing it, you getting positive feedback for your mentor, teacher, or your friend, for your capability in it, or for you just doing it. You were probably getting some positive feedback, and that's the first aspect of feedback loops. When we get positive feedback for doing something, we are likely to repeat it. And then the second aspect of it is that, so when one does something, he becomes he who has done this thing once. And the guy who has done this thing once is more likely to repeat it. And then when he becomes the guy who has done it twice, he is even more likely to repeat it. the more we do a thing, the more consistently we do a thing, the more we habitualize a thing, the more likely that we repeat in doing it over and over again. And with this in mind, with these three things in mind, that's how you get back on track. There are 2 steps to it. The first one is an actual step that I want you to take right now, and the second part is a loop. So let me explain. You start by doing something today. Like, it can be going down and doing the set of push-ups until failure once, just getting this positive feedback loop going. And then I want you to start educating yourself about fitness, about this thing that you want to get back on track in, right? And then I want you to do a bit more, and the kind of more that gets you more results. Our goal is to get you to get as much positive feedback ASAP. And that's why in some cases starting by doing a lot can be pretty beneficial, because when you do a lot, when you put a lot of effort, even though it is a marginal benefit, you see more results, you get more positive feedback. But regardless of that, I just want you to start by doing something, going down and doing a few push-ups, just getting yourself into the state of mind of the guy who trains. Just starting to habitualize it and do it each and every day. Find an action that is related to the endeavor that you want to get back on track ASAP in, and just start doing something in it. It can be small. I just want you to start that positive feedback loop and start and breathe more into it and start and see results in it. So you do the kind of thing that actually gets you some level of results and you can actually do. It can be 1 minute of fucking reading, it can be 1 minute of push-ups, it can be 1 minute of stretching, and then with it I want you to start educating yourself about this thing, so what you do actually brings you the results and the good feedback. And as you will do it, you will start to see results and more results and more results. As you will start to do more consistently, you will get better at it, you will become he who does it, and as you will become he who does it more, you will start to do it more. And when you do it and you put more effort into it each time, you become even more invested in it, and as the time will go on, you will get back on track without even realizing. But it must start with the first step. It must start with something, right? And that's what I want you to do, right? The 3 steps. You start by doing more than nothing, so you start by doing something, and then you educate yourself about how you get the results that you want from being on track, because you should not get on track to get nothing. So you probably want to get to a desired outcome, you want to learn how to get there faster, so you get more positive feedback, and then you just start to do more and more and more consistently. You don't increase it by a massive margin because you don't want to just burn yourself out. You progress slowly, and then with enough time, you will not realize it at first, but you will become much better. That's what happened to me. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, you can like and subscribe if you wanna get free stuff, link in the description.